and welcome to this Geek Therapeutics presentation. Today we are going to be playing the Alien RPG by Free League. This is made for Geek Therapeutics for Cohort 23. My name is Mike A. Pratt, and I will be your game mother tonight. With me, we have a variety of esteemed colleagues who will be taking on a variety of roles. I'm going to go through quickly, call you out your name. Tell me who you are and what your job is on the ship. Who you are, your character, and what your character's job is on the ship. We'll start with Tom.
My name's Kingberry. I'm the first officer on the ship.
Jason? Jason is muted. Let's try that again.
Sorry about that. My name is John Davis. I am the chief mechanic.
Daniel.
I am Fidel Walker, and I'm part of the survey team security.
Dana.
I am Sergeant Wong, and I am Sergeant.
And Jeff.
I am Assistant Engineer Burns, and I help out with engineering.
Excellent. We begin with a rude awakening. Red lights are flashing as you guys are stumbling awake, pulled out of hypersleep in the hibernation chamber aboard the Malaga. Kingsbury is like one of the first up and gets up and stumbles over and emits the red lights and flashing sirens and klaxons. There is a terminal that is rolling data and is blinking. The data indicates that there is a fire in lower engineering. And you look back and it looks like the majority of everybody else is also waking up. But it's time to, and getting on coveralls. There's a small, nearby that there's a small, like cloakroom kind of thing where you've got coveralls and things and everyone's getting dressed really fast. The captain is awake too. And she's barking orders, saying, fire and engineering, we got to get down there, split up into 2 teams. Let's go. And she leaves the room. This particularly rude awakening is enough to give everybody a level of stress, just to start us off with. So as a reminder, you'll open up your character sheet, and on the left side, near-ish, about a quarter of the way down, there's a box that says stress, and just click one of those boxes and it will turn yellow, letting you know that you have a level of stress. Now, this is true for everybody except for Burns. Davis, you notice that your station is next to Burns's tube, and she's not waking up.
Okay, so Davis will just kind of like groggily look around and say, ah, shit. Burns, we got shit to. I go over and just kind of like pound on the tube a little bit. It's like, wake up!
Yeah. So the tube is actually pulled open. The little thing right nearby indicates that she's still alive, like it's showing a heartbeat and whatnot, but she's just dead. She's not waking up. You're smacking her around. She's not waking up. The doctor, Dr. Deegan is there, and she's like, "What's wrong with Burns?"
Head. Take a sip from my flask. Shake my head a little bit.
Really? You're doing that right now? Really? Get out of here. Go deal with the fire. I'll deal with Burns. And the doctor just kicks you out.
Waddle away.
Following along with rooting, and some of you know the ship better than others. Many of you are fresh-faced and new to the ship. But Kingsbury knows where he's going. Davis knows where he's going. You make your way down into lower engineering, where a pipe apparently has been bursted and is spewing flames into the hallway. This is one of the heating pipes. It is cracked. It is spewing some sort of flammable material that is burning very hot. Kingsbury, Kerr Kerr has come with you, as has Private Walker. Somewhere along the line, you guys picked up fire suppression, like fire extinguishers to deal with it. Davis, I'm presuming you're coming along too, so that you are also in that position. But you're realizing that your fire extinguishers are not going to help against this 12-foot gout of flame that is just filling the corridor. So what I'm going to need is for Davis to make me some kind of a check. You've got two options. There's a terminal that's nearby that you might be able to affect with Comtech to slow down the fire. The other one is that there's a kind of a sticking wheel that you can turn that might be able to arrest the amount of heat and flowing through these pipes so that the fire suppression can actually work on it. Maybe like seal it off.
I'm not trusting the computers on this ship. I'm still pretty new
And
at that.
And that
Turn
would
the
be
wheel.
heavy machinery. Either way, I'd like to have you make a roll on that.
Okay.
Now,
Can I
Kurz,
do a command on him for
you
that?
absolutely can. So before that happens, go ahead, Kingsbury, make a command roll. As a reminder, you've got your character sheet up and you click on command, which I believe is in the 7 o'clock position on your sheet.
Yeah, it's asking for a modifier. I just put the number that's on my
Right.
command score.
You do not have, right now you have no modifiers, so you just leave it at 0.
Okay.
You yell something to him, but he seems to have you tuned out, and he's already pulling out, wheeling it, so you're not able to command him. But Kerr does grab the other end of the wheel and start pulling. So Walker, go ahead and make your heavy machinery roll, and when it asks you what your modifier is, add 1, because Kerr is able to help you.
Huh? Oh, there it is.
All right, so this is good. You got a success. So the flame goes from 12 feet down to 3 feet, just much more manageable. But something bad happens while you're doing this, and that's what that little face hugger symbol that appeared on the yellow dice is. So on your character sheet, above your attributes block, there's a small block of buttons. One of those buttons is labeled panic. Can you click on that panic button for me? All right. As you shut it down, it causes the fire to shoot in a variety of ways. It burns very close to you, like the flame turns, and you have to duck. You're fine. It was a little bit dicey there for a moment, but you're okay. At this point in time, Walker and Kingsbury, you have fire suppression. I'm going to ask Walker to make this roll. This will be a ranged combat roll.
Okay.
And Kingsbury is actively helping you in this with his own. So you're going to go ahead and add 3 to this roll. 1 because he's helping you, and 2 because you actually have fire suppression, something that's designed for this job. So when it asks you your modifier, you say 3.
Okay, so you said this is a ranged combat?
Ranged combat. You are. I don't think you're meleeing the fire.
Okay. All right, so if my ranged combat is 3.
So mechanically, the way you'll work it in Roll20 is you'll click on the words ranged combat,
Oh, okay.
and then it will pop up a little window,
Oh, modifier.
and then that little window will be will ask you how many modifiers. You've got 3, so you're going to add that to it,
Okay,
or
3.
just take 3 in there, and then click the submit button, and it will roll.
Oh,
And you're not able to get the fire out. You can push this roll. This is a mechanic, a thing that you can do, which seems prudent at this point in time.
okay.
To do this, you're going to gain the level of stress. So click that first.
Okay.
And in this case, because you have no successes, you're just going to click the range combat and add the 3 modifier again. 2 successes. You manage to get the fire out, and as an added bonus, you can perform what's called a stunt. For your stunt, you can show off. You can make this check maybe easier for something else. Basically, you succeeded with style. How do you style on this task?
So can I keep? Is this something I can bank? Keep the stunt for later?
Depends. If you were fighting another fire, actually, yeah. So you're going to fight another fire later.
Okay.
You will get a +1 to other fires during this scene.
Okay.
Where this kind of issue is.
And then, is there anywhere that I
No, you just gotta remember it.
just remember? Okay, cool. Yeah, I wrote it down. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Burns, you wake up in the sleeping chamber and the alarms are blaring and there is nobody there.
The doctor left too.
The doctor left too. This is definitely stressful for you. And I will leave it to you to decide whether or not you think this is, you're definitely going to gain 1 level of stress for being woken up sharply with alarms blaring, because that's honestly pretty stressful. And I will leave it to you to decide that having nobody else present in the room is enough to freak you out, to stress you a second point, or not. I leave that to your decision.
Do I have any sense of what I need to be doing, or am I like completely lost for what's going on?
I mean, you feel like a bit hungover, you kind of have that hungover feeling, but there's alarms blaring, there's a terminal blinking. You stumble over to the terminal and see that there's fire going on in lower engineering. That's kind of your job. Like, you throw coveralls on and you can get down there.
Yeah, I don't think I would notice then if I feel like I have a task to do. I feel like I would be on the way to lower engineering and I wouldn't
That's
really.
Perfectly fair. So you run down to lower engineering and you run into Wong and Stone, Farquhar, and Dr. Honig is also down here inexplicably. They're near the primary reactor core. There's a place where there's coolant comes through and the heat and flows the other one, and there's fire burst out here. But just about the time that you get up, it looks like they're able to fight the fire and get it out, and that causes and then get over to the terminal, which kills the alarm. Now that the alarm's been killed, the captain gets on the all call and says, "All right, crew, that was a rude awakening. Get your bearings, get yourself dressed and organized. We're meeting in the meeting room in 5 minutes. Rose, the ship's synthetic, be prepared to give a report about what happened and where we are. Dismissed." Her orders doesn't give you guys a lot of time to get to the meeting room, but if there's anything that you want to try to fill in during this time period, you can go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, we'll continue the plot.
I'm good to continue.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'll just look at Kingsbury and Daniel and go like, oh yeah, Burns died.
What do you mean Burns died?
Yeah, fully dead. Totally dead. Wouldn't wake
Like-
up.
Her screen wipe dead?
Yeah, just gone. So, you're going to have to assign someone else to do all her work because.
Yeah, that's what you're for.
Am I though?
Yeah, you are.
We'll look over the contract. Let's go see what we're supposed to be doing. Ugh.
All right. So it sounds like there's nobody else on any particular action. So you guys pile into the meeting room aboard the Malaga. The captain is already there. She's going over some reports on a tablet. And everyone sort of piles in at various times. The director, Vicer, is the last one to show up. He was assigned recently to the ship by the company as to do a efficiency audit, I believe was the official bullshit that was being thrown around for that. But everybody kind of has sussed out that the captain may be under some sort of probation due to a previous event. But at any rate, the captain's like, all right, everyone's here. Rose, give your report. At this point in time, the ship's synthetic Rose steps up and she's like, I've conferred with Mother. At 04:23 hours, the Malaga intercepted a distress signal from an EEV in our sector. Per maritime laws and regulations, sector 12.8.73, Mother implemented a course correction. During the maneuver, there was an explosion causing a rupture in the heating system and subsequent fire. Emergency crew revival protocols were enacted at that time. Mother reports that no critical subsystems were damaged as a result of the fire and explosion, but several secondary systems are operating at a reduced capacity. Okay, that's great. Where are we? We're now 0.02 parsecs away from the Kármán 3 station. This is approximately 23.6 minutes at low velocity FTL. We're currently en route with sublight engines to the EEV and expect to make contact within 9.7 minutes. Transponder information received from the EEV indicates that it was launched from the Kármán 3 station, but do not include any information as to why the EEV was launched, nor indicate how many passengers may be aboard. All right, thank you, Rose. Thank you. That's enough. All right, guys. So I've imagined you all read the briefing, but just to make sure, the Malaga, our fine ship vessel, has been tasked by the company to pick up some cargo. I know it's not our mission or parameters, but the company really wants it and feels that our expertise, or we might just be the only ones in the area, is required. This is going to be a simple mission. We're going to go to the Kármán 3 station. Hopefully everything will be fine there. They're expecting us. We're going to pick up the crates of cargo, and then we will we'll make back for Anchorhead. We're going to pick up this EEV along the way. We don't have a lot of capacity. Remember, our ship only crews 12, so we only have 12 sleeping pods. So hopefully there's not a lot of people on board, because we don't have capability of taking on other people. Anyway, here is the mission briefing. And I suggest that you all review it, as you should have done before we took off. In the meantime, there's a few things that have come to my attention about what's been happening aboard the ship. Obviously, there was something of a disaster. Something went wrong, and nobody's to blame for that. But I did notice in lower engineering what appears to be bullet holes in some of the corridors and some of the pipes. If anybody knows anything about what might be the cause of that, I would like them to come forward to let me know so the appropriate parties may be punished. Okay. In the meantime, Davis, Burns, I need you to get down to lower engineering and patch up whatever holes there are. Do a full diagnostic of the area, make sure that everything's been patched up properly, and do it right this time. Wong, I need you and your team to get to the forward umbilical to be able to meet the EEV. Deacon, go with them because they may be injured or aboard. In the meantime, there will, if there's anything else, there might be some stuff thrown around. I noticed a few things might be damaged or off. Do log it for report so that it can be repaired later. Any questions? All right, then dismissed. And she leaves and heads off to the bridge. So at this point in time, you guys have about 10 minutes, of which a lot of that's going to be taken up by walking. Let me introduce you to the Malaga. Since you're looking here in the Roll20 window, those of you at home, I just have to use your imagination. It is a big ship. It is about 400 meters in length, and only crews 12. Lots of places to hide, lots of places to slack off. It doesn't have very good security systems because that's just the way they do things. There are cameras on board, but they don't look everywhere. The Malaga's primary mission objectives is planetary survey. It's a science vessel. It goes to planets, strange new worlds, and seeks out new life. And well, civilizations aren't a thing that you find, but you do find occasionally life aboard things, or just geological surveys. And that's its primary function. It has 2 EEVs. It has 2 manned shuttles, the Pamela and the Jordan. The Pamela is a large drop ship that goes down to planets that Kerr, the ship's pilot, has taken lovingly for. The Jordan is much more like a space pickup truck. Not very big, useful for carrying heavy loads, but not very comfortable for passengers. At this point in time, I'm going to ask what everybody is going to be doing, if there's anything that they're going to be doing other than what their assigned tasks were. We're going to start with Wong, Farquhar, and Walker. Farquhar is the other security officer aboard the ship who reports to Wong. So Wong.
I'm hightailing it down to the umbilical and follow orders. See if there's
Okay. Just hurrying up there. Not gonna even wait for anybody.
Nope.
Nope. And at your pace, because Walker probably doesn't want to keep up with you, but let's find out. Walker, are you gonna try to keep up with Wong? He's kind of running. He's like, I'm just gonna get up there and be ready.
No, I'm in no hurry.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 10 minutes to get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my time, and also kind of paying attention if I see anything that I notice fell off or fell out, anything that looks out of place, I'm gonna try and put that stuff back.
There's a lot of stuff that's kind of disheveled. Farquhar is going to travel with you. She's an ex-Marine. The description is that they say that the women who come out of the USC Marine Corps are twice as tough as the men, and Farquhar basically seems to prove it. She oftentimes, when not equipped with her smart gun, wears the gimbals, like the harness, like just has that on at all times, just so that she can grab the smart gun without having to take extra time. And in fact, along the way, she stops by the armory to get her smart gun. The armory is disheveled, like looks like the racks that hold the guns onto the wall have all like dumped. So all the guns and like ammunition is kind of like all scattered around the floor. But yeah, Farquhar digs through it, finds her one smart gun and hooks it up and says, all right, let's go.
I would like to do the same thing. Find my smart gun.
I don't believe that you have a smart gun. I believe that you are wielding a pulse rifle.
Pulse gun. Okay.
As a reminder for those of you who are not familiar, the smart gun is like the big long gun that Drake and Vasquez used in Aliens 2.
Oh, okay.
And it has like tracking information on it. You have a pulse rifle, which is the rifle that is used in Aliens 2.
Am I allowed to wield a smart gun? Can I like
you
grab
can, but the thing requires the gimbal's harness, and you only have the one. And Farquhar is definitely not going to let you use her gun.
Got it. Okay, then I'll.
But she does make a comment as you're walking by. She's like, "Told you the captain would find out about the shooting range."
Oh. Okay, that was. Well, let's just keep that between ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You make it up to the front, equipped and ready to go. Wong has been there for several minutes already. Davis and Burns, you've been ordered to go down to lower engineering, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of work to be done. She's called for like a full check that's going to take hours to do. At the very least, you do need to do a patch job. Burns, I'm going to tell you that you will be. It's going to take hours to do, and Davis is probably not going to be keen on doing a lot of hard work on this one. So I'm going to ask.
Probably better for the health of the ship that I take this anyway. So
you can start to try to work on this by yourself and do it right. Or you can see about maybe convincing Davis to help you out with it.
I would start on the patch job, and I wouldn't even ask Davis. I would just start working on the patching.
All right, Davis, are you willing to help out Burns with this, or are you just going to use this as an opportunity to take a break?
Oh, I'm gonna tell Davis I'm gonna go see if there's any other repairs that need to happen and go around the corner and just kind of have a little sit.
Okay.
But not before I ask him what the hell happened with him dying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad he's alive because a lot of work to do with the two of us here and all that. But what the hell?
It was very weird. I believe that if Burns has been looking at their background information, it kind of gives you it's the last The last sentence of the first paragraph explains what happened.
Oh,
But that's Burns's information. That's not for anybody else. Fun fact, in this game, everybody has secret objectives and typically also has secret like information that they only know. Those
Where do I
secret
find-
objectives oftentimes are things like make sure the mission goes fine or don't get anybody get killed, but who knows?
Where do I find the background?
Burns's notes. It's the other document that's after your character sheet.
Oh, okay, 1 second. I'm sorry, y'all keep going while I look for this.
All right. So Davis, you're gonna be kicking back, feet up,
Oh.
taking a drink.
Yeah, take my magazine out and just kind of relax. That was a stressful way to wake up for the day.
All right.
Didn't appreciate that.
That is more than enough to knock a point off of your stress.
Excellent.
All right. Kingsbury.
I'm going to go to where the captain was mentioning the bullet holes, so I can figure out exactly what those were. To see if I can try to figure out what kind of shots they were that caused them.
Okay. You make it down to lower engineering, and you find Burns working very hard with some cutting off, like she's like removed one of the pipes from the wall and is currently like doing a full patch job with like a cutting torch, or a acetylene torch and like a mask on. You don't see Davis anywhere in sight. You're gonna wander around lower engineering looking for him, or are you just gonna look on your own?
I am just going to, in full drill corporal voice, Davis.
Oh. I'll sort of scramble into the room, kind of stuff my magazine away, just kind of tuck my shirt in. Kingsbury, what brings you down here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
Follow your
Surveying.
orders.
surveying the
Follow
rest of the area.
your
He-
orders.
He was conducting a survey of the area. He was trying to get a sense of the damage that we're trying to fix right now.
Yeah, what she said.
Burns, you don't have to protect this lazy son of a bitch. You really don't.
That's uncalled for.
Am I lying?
I mean, besides the point, still uncalled
No,
for.
it's not. Follow your fucking orders before I have to write a report with the captain. As I say, as I go looking for the bullet holes.
Fine. Go and kind of like tap on things that Burns has already kind of like installed.
All right. It's not too long before you find evidence of these bullet holes. There's long corridors. There are many places disused. At the end, you find one that looks like it's got a little bit more. And when you get to the far end, you find a piece of sheet metal, like fairly thick, like ship plating, that has what looks like a crude outline of a figure drawn on it with some circles. And it's been heavily pockmarked with arms fire. It's clearly a target. Somebody's been setting up a shooting range down here.
I reach for my comlink to call to Page Stone.
This is Stone.
Captain, I think I figured out where those bullet holes came from.
All right, what do you know?
Looks like we had someone setting up a target range down here.
God damn it!
You want to bring up their target?
No, don't worry about that. So thank you for reporting it. I'll bring it up with all the appropriate parties at the appropriate time.
Got it, Captain.
Anyway, we're coming up on that EEV now.
You want me to head up and assist over at the umbilical?
Yeah, just keep an eye on it, see what's going on.
All right.
All right. Meanwhile, at the umbilical, the ship has pulled into range of the EEV. There's a targeting done, where magnetic harpoons were sent out to clip onto the EEV to pull it in close enough to line it up so that you can connect to it. The yellow lights spin, filling the corridor, and there's a a link on the link light, and the light goes green. You've got positive seal. The computer seems to report no toxic gases on the other side. The door opens up, and it's a small EEV. If you're familiar with the movies, this is the same style of EEV used at the end of the first, beginning of the second films. So it's got some navigational capability. It's got 4 cryo sleep chambers, and it's basically one room. Not anything special. It's an emergency escape vehicle. That's what it's there for. Farquhar is eager and takes point, sweeping the end of her smart gun around the room. It's like, clear. As you look inside, you notice that there are 4 cryopods in this main chamber. One of them is the light is on and is open. 2 of them look like they're not in use, lights out, doors closed. The third one, it is closed, and there appears to be somebody in there. Looks like it's a single survivor. Standard procedure in this would be to figure out the survivors and download whatever, like a flight recorder data onto, download the flight recorder data to get the information on this. I'm looking at Wong and Walker to take point. You guys have the initiative at this point.
Okay. First thing I do is light up a cigarette.
It's a future.
Hey,
Everyone smokes.
hey, we're gonna smoke in here now. Is that we're smoking anywhere we want, man? We've got.
This is stressful. I'm stressed out. I need a cigarette.
Yeah, you haven't seen stress yet, so let's
On my
see.
last mission, I got pretty stressed.
Let's see if this guy has seen any stress. Let's open up this buddy here.
All right.
So,
So go ahead, Wong. You can open up that pot.
oh, thank you, man. So
I'll
I'll
give
go.
it you.
Oh, open them up. Let's see who's in there.
All right. As you get into the as you get in there, you look around. There is somebody in the pod. The rest of the place is clear. You sweep around the whole place. Following usual D&D trap rules, I didn't make any assumptions about any player characters actually entering a place or doing a thing. So, but you go in there to check it out. Lights, everything seems fine. He's breathing. He's still in hibernation from sleep. Deacon, the ship's doctor, comes in and looks at it and goes, "Oh crap, Walker, we're probably gonna need to get a gurney or something like that to get him out of here. He's look at these readings. He definitely didn't put himself into hypersleep using proper procedures." And she begins doing a wake up procedure on him.
Okay. All right. I go to get the gurney.
Okay, there would be one kept pretty close by.
Okay.
So you've gone off to do that. Farquhar has swept the area, but is now sort of taking a post on the outside. So currently on board the EV are just Deacon and Wong. About the time, I'm presuming, because it's standard procedure, that Deacon can handle the wake up on their own. So Wong, you're probably going to download the EEV's data recorder onto some sort of like from data storage facility, as would be procedure. Unless you want to deviate from that procedure, I'll just go ahead with that.
I'm going to deviate a little bit. I first want to poke my head around and check out the one that's already been open. Let's see if
Okay.
Any.
Go ahead and make a an observation roll for me.
Observation roll. Okay. Help me out here since I'm
So
new.
on your character sheet,
Yeah.
and I believe it is in the 2 o'clock position.
Oh, okay. 2 o'clock. And I'm looking for observation. Found it. Okay, so and it says modifiers. Do I know if I have any modifiers?
At this point in time, it's just on your own, and you have no tools to help you in this case.
Okay. So it made a sound. Did you guys get a number?
Yep.
Okay. I can't tell her with all the windows. What'd I get?
You got 2 successes.
Whoa.
The other one that's open is definitely empty. But as you've got I think you've got a little bit of ComTech as part of one of your other skills you have. It looks like it was possibly recently in use, but it might have just been like in use for a like a system fault on that. Whoever was in it is definitely not in there now.
Okay. So now I go ahead and upload, get the info. Yeah.
So, by the way, Dana, I sent you some information that you also may have found out. It would appear in a whisper on the chat window below your dice roll. Did you get it? I don't know if Roll20 did it. Send it right.
I didn't get any extra.
Okay, let me resend it here.
Just send it to everybody. I'm sure it's not secret.
Oh yeah, it's not. Anyway,
Right. And yeah, so I'm using that time to my advantage.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So Deacon wakes up this guy, and she's like, and he's kind of delirious. He's very much out of it. She's like, don't panic. You were on an EV. You've been rescued. What is your name? Where are you from? And he's like, I'm Lore. I come from the Carmen station. Where am I? It's like, you're fine. You're very dehydrated. You went to hypersleep without making proper steps. Right now, we're going to get you taken care of. He's like, okay. At this point in time, Walker found the gurney. Kingsbury pulls up about then, holding the other end of it. And between the two of them, they pick up more, this survivor with the EV, and under Dr. Deacon's advice, take him off to medical.
Okay.
It doesn't take long to download the data off of the flight recorder, off of the EV. Interpreting it and reviewing it is going to take longer, but that's not a big deal. So at this point in time, the captain calls in and says, all right, we've got a schedule to keep. We're going to cut the EV loose. Make sure you're clear. That's for one.
Wait, I've got distracted. Sorry, I was reading my notes. Okay, I got to do a check. Tell me.
No, you just say, I leave.
I leave.
Okay. Farquhar is like, all right, well, that's it. And has also walked off. And as you're coming out and as you're talking to Farquhar with that observation roll earlier, you thought you noticed something in it. This where the EV is, there's these spinning yellow lights, which kind of make things look like they move. But for just a moment, you thought you saw something move by you about ankle height, maybe the size of a cat, about flesh colored, but you're not sure. And it was probably just the light. But at any rate, you hit the button, the seals break, they cut it loose. The captain says, all right, if everyone's secure, we're going to go ahead and make a quick low-speed FTL jump to the station. It's going to be about 25 minutes. We're not going to go to sleep for this one. So everyone should, if you've got a job you're doing, keep on it. Otherwise, this is a good time to take a break. And she cuts out. Now, when traveling in hyperspace, if you're not asleep, it can have detrimental effects on your psychoses, on your thinking. And there's a phenomenon called Pandora syndrome, wherein people who don't go to hypersleep while in hyperspace kind of get like paranoid delusions and are real bad. It's manageable, and now that you know about it, it's definitely something people watch out for. But that being said, I'm going to go through each of the characters to ask if there's anything they're going to be doing to cut down on the amount of stress that they might be generating. Because if you're spending something, if you're relaxing, it's not a big deal, but if you're going to work, you're probably going to get a level of stress. And we're going to start with Burns. Burns, are you going to continue to work for the next 25 minutes, or are you going to take a break?
No, I'm going to work.
Okay. This will just, you get a level of stress. Davis, are you going to work like ever? But I mean,
Why?
specifically in the next 20 minutes.
Why start now? I'm gonna sit back. It's like, oh, I hate it when we do this. Gonna
All right.
light up one of my King cigarettes and regale Burns about back when I was an assistant engineer and gotta work smarter, not harder.
Kingsbury, are you going to be taking any sort of a break, or do you have any other actions that you're going to be doing during this time period?
No, Kingsbury's actually going to go ahead and find a spot, light up one of his green stripes.
Okay. Are you hanging out in medical with Dr. Deacon and your new guest Moore?
Just outside of it.
Okay. Walker, how about you?
Did the cigarette I smoked earlier do anything for my stress?
I think between taking it easy, going slow, and then now that you're here and taking a break with it, yeah, you'll go ahead and drop a little stress.
I can take one off.
Yeah, take one off.
Okay.
Also, Deacon has a sort of a calming presence. If you just hang around her, like she'll talk to you about stuff and she'll just make you feel better.
Okay.
But that's just the thing Deacon has.
I was gonna say, like, I'm gonna definitely hang out by Deacon, but we're still by the. He says his name was Moore.
More.
Yeah.
He's apparently some sort of a flight officer from the station.
Okay, I'm gonna stay near him, and I'm gonna be very. I'm watching him. I'm suspicious.
He's mostly out of it, and to be extra safe, Deacon actually sedates him.
Oh, he's sedated. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I still keep like one eye on him, but yeah, I'm gonna hang out by Deacon.
All right, and Wong, are you doing anything else at this point in time, or are you going to take a quick break?
I'm having a smoke break.
So you don't gain a level of stress on this. A few minutes go by, the ship comes out of hyperspace. You hear a noticeable bing off of the hull. As you probably hit something metal at fairly high speeds, but it sounds like it got deflected. And at this point in time, you get there's an all call. All hands report to the meeting room. There's been a development. This is the captain. As you guys make it up to the meeting room, you find the captain's there along with Kerr and Rose and the director. And she's like, "All right, Rose, put it up on screen." And
cool.
You've arrived at the Carmen 3 station. It is not supposed to be floating in a cloud of its own debris.
Oh.
The Carmen 3 station standard is actually a trinary Siegston model station with a primary main spire, which houses everything, a fuel refinery, and an extra reactor dome. As it's a supply station, it basically works like a big battery. So ships can come in here, plug in to recharge all of their fuel cells while the big main reactor runs. It appears that the main reactor has suffered a catastrophic failure, judging by the large gap in it. Rose comes up and says, "We're unable to hail the station, but this may be due to the fact that large amounts of radiation are still leaking out of the reactor. They still have power, which is a good sign, but it looks like the primary docking clamps have been damaged. So we're going to need to send over a shuttle." Actually, the captain would be like, "So we need to send over a shuttle. So for this, I'm going to ask you guys to. We're going to split up. We got it. We have a job to do. So let's get on that. Kingsbury, I want you to lead the team. Kerr, fly them over in the Pamela. Wong and Walker, they're going to need security. Davis and Burns are going to probably need heavy. There's going to be some heavy lifting involved there. Deacon, as we've got somebody potentially injured on board, I saw your quick report quickly. I want you to stay here to monitor that situation.
Captain, would it be okay if I stayed back? And stayed on the ship? Okay.
No, I gave you an order. You need to go.
All right.
Did we finish the work on our ship?
You got the work on your ship down to there's no immediate problems, but it's still going to be hours and hours of work you've got looking forward to when you get back.
Should I ask about, like, should we prioritize the health of our ship before we go into this other, like, disaster situation? Like,
look, we are not search and rescue. If we picked up one extra passenger, Rose can forego sleeping, but we can't pick up anybody else. We don't have the space for them. We only have 12 pods. So our best thing to do is do our mission and get back to civilization as soon as possible so that we can coordinate and that they can send in the professionals. Get whatever gear you need and head out to the Pamela right away. Dismissed. So by coincidence, all of the player characters are now all being sent over on the shuttle to the Carmen station. I presume that you guys get together, get any other gear that you might normally be carrying on you. You could also potentially hit the armory, or if there's anything else you wanted to take specifically, you can let me know. Otherwise, we'll advance the plot.
there's something I want to grab, but I don't know. How do I let you know without letting other people know?
You can type /W space GM space and then type it into the chat.
/W/GM. I feel like this is about to go to everybody, so if I mess this up, forgive me.
It's a / instead of /, but it should look like that.
Okay, that's helpful. I would have messed it up and you all would have seen everything.
Yeah.
Pretty good, everybody?
All right.
I feel like I made it look like the thing, right?
Yeah,
Switch
except
the-
it's supposed to be a
flip the
/.
Oh,
On
you
the
said
question mark.
don't do that. Now I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because if you use a /, it comes out and sends to everybody. Oh, well,
Now everybody knows. It's okay.
now everybody knows.
Druggy.
She has to cover for somebody else.
Yeah. All right. So you load up onto the Pamela, and it is a if you're familiar with the more recent film Alien Covenant, I designed it based upon that one. So it's like a large dropship that has like sleeping quarters and like a rudimentary science lab and a rudimentary medical lab and some storage capacity. It takes you guys about 25 minutes to fly over. Along the way, Kerr pilots definitely through this field of debris. A couple pings off of the side let you know that there's still a bunch of debris out there, but you're able to pick up the magnetic seals and get to and fly in, get close enough and fly into land in one of the main cargo hangars. The ship is let down deftly, and then the ramp descends. Light spills out of the main cargo hull, spills out of the Pamela onto the floor of this cargo bay, where a very large blood splotch is found. Things clearly are not going good on the station. And we'll find out more about that after the break.